Good morning and welcome to the Joseph Apartments Talk Show, where our theme is we can only afford one take. So, Dean, tell us what's going on in the world of credit repair. And my thinking is for the apartment owners watching this, how can you tell a tenant who has bad credit, listen, talk to Dean, come back in a couple months, and we'll fix your credit, and you're welcome back then as vacancies increase and maybe we have to have higher standards. So, Greg, what do you got?
Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me. My name's Dean Tapey with Pacific West Credit. My wife and I started this company 10 years ago. We are registered and licensed with the Department of Justice. My job is to help your tenants fix their credit and maybe buy an own house or refinance a house or get a credit card or lower their interest rate on a car loan. As you know, unfortunately, since COVID, credit is paramount, and I want to help them. And the only way I can help them is if they make a phone call to us. And the consultation is always free, and it's a pretty easy fix, but it takes two to move forward. My cell number is 714-323-5538. 714-323-5538. And I think as of this month, we've helped over 5,000 people that have been in our program. So thank you for having me, Mr. Jim Joseph.
Quick question, is anything new COVID-wise of credit? Are they overlooking stuff? Are they saying, we'll overlook this entire year, let it disappear? What's the reaction of bureaus?
Well, the credit bureaus only go off the furnishers, and the furnishers are the credit card companies that report to the bureaus. The credit card companies are nervous, as you probably know, so they are lowering credit line limits on consumers when they fall below their threshold. They'll never tell you what their threshold is. I don't even know it, but they've been through this rodeo in 2008, and they got stuck holding a bill of goods, and my job is to make sure that you can get as much credit as possible, because you got to keep in mind that's unsecured credit that is not assigned to a property. And they've got, I think we're at, I think what just happened is student debt just surpassed our credit card debt. That's the first time in history, and I think it was last year. Really? And it's into the, I don't want to say the trillions, but it passed credit card debt, and credit card debt used to be the biggest unsecured debt that we carry in this country.
Your phone number again?
Yes, 714-323-5538.
Our second guest is the world's second greatest realtor. If you see the smile on his face, it's because he closed the transaction just yesterday. So he's full of answers and opinions and confidence. So, Chris, what is going on in the world of single-family homes?
When I become the best, do I get a jacket like this?
Oh, he shoots, he scores!
Yeah.
No.
I'll say second best if that's the case. No, I was talking to a couple old folks in the business, like my dad, and just kind of because the market is crazy, and so I asked, "Have you seen anything like this before?" And 2013 kept coming up. So I studied the data from 2013, and the beginning of the year is exactly the same as the beginning of this year. You have low inventory, low interest rates, and as the year progressed, inventory went up, interest rates went up as well. And the interesting thing, though, is the peak of homes on the market is July and August, and the peak in 2013 was November. And the reason being is in the summer, or beginning of summer, people listed their homes thinking still a seller's market, we could get whatever we want for it, we're going to have bidding war and all that. And demand kind of diminished, and inventory obviously rose. So it still remained a seller's market, just not as hot as they thought, and so their listing sat on the market a lot longer. So I hate being one of those realtors that fearmonger, and say, hey, you got to sell now or else, you're doomed, kind of thing. But it's just something that's just data for you to do what you want with it. If you are looking to buy, it's not necessarily a bad time to buy if you're looking to stay in that home for 15 more years, because everything will kind of even out after that. So, but yeah, that's my
How do we get a hold of you?
number is 562-760-4644. 4587 or chrisjosephrealestate@gmail.com.
Rumor has it last week you were making offers on property and the accepted offer went how much above list price?
Yeah, we made it all cash offer, full ask 650, and it went for 740.
Wow.
All cash.
Wow.
That's a
So,
big jump.
83 was it how much?
so yeah, that was 90 over all cash
90
still.
over
So,
list. Crazy. So, if you want someone with some energy and enthusiasm to navigate you through this market, your email address.
chrisjosephrealestate@gmail.com.
Thank you very much. And next we have a first-time guest, Greg Holly. Greg does single-family loans up to 4 units. So if you're looking to buy a duplex, a triplex for your son, daughter, or me as an investor, give Greg a call. Greg, what's going on rates? And what should we be concerned about or happy about or grateful for?
Well, the rates actually have been kind of a wild ride right now. That just in the last 30 days, they've kind of went up quite a bit, and they're kind of leveling off. But I think it's real important just to talk about credit and realtors, just getting yourself prepared, because that's where I can come in and help people get in a position where you can submit that offer. And then the other thing is help get that offer accepted, because they're getting 30 offers on one property, and like Chris was saying, they just go way above asking price. So I think it's real important to get your credit in line, get with your realtor, and then let's get you in a position to get that offer accepted.
And Greg, you do that nobody else does in the industry. You do what we call a true approval, not a pre-approval.
That is correct. And the true approval is a completely underwritten upfront approval. So if you're out there submitting offers, we have underwriters that have looked at it and approved it. So you are ready to go. It's not like they go out and shop, submit offers, and then get approved. We get you in a position to where once your offer is accepted, it's a very quick process from there. So
Let me ask you the impossible. Let's say you were in this situation. You approved him for 650,
Yeah.
650, and then the accepted offer goes 90,000 above.
Good
What
question.
would you do in that situation where Chris goes, hey, Greg, help me out here?
well, in my opinion, you really got to be careful with that, because you got to make sure that the borrower or the buyer is in the position to cover the difference between the appraisal and the accepted offer price. So that we've run into, you know.
90,000 is a big jump.
That's
on
a big jump.
600,000.
Yeah.
So that's why it's real important to get with your lender, make sure that everybody knows kind of where that appraisal is going to come in, because it could really
How do we
change
get a hold
things.
of you, Greg?
I'm sorry?
How do we get a hold of you?
My number is 714-325-4528, and that's my cell. I have it 24/7. And true approval is a great way to go. If
Your
you have any
email address?
questions. Greg.Holley at sunwestmortgage.com.
That's Holley.
Yes.
24 hours, can we call it 2 o'clock in the morning for like a rate quote?
Sure.
You heard it here. You heard it here.
Doesn't mean he's going to answer.
I might answer, but I might
Especially
not
if it says Jim Joseph on the screen.
So if you're an apartment owner with a credit challenged child or grandchild, have them see Dean first, get the credit fixed up, and then see Greg for a loan, and then have Chris for a house. We're all set there. Speaking of all set, Ed is a new guest here. Ed, you are with Superior Restoration.
Yes, sir.
As your shirt says. What do you do, and any tips for apartment owners?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me. Ed Cardenas. I'm a sales/business development manager. So once everybody gets into a beautiful apartment, what we do is we help out service homeowners, commercial property, and apartment complexes in the needs of flood, mold, fire, or smoke. One tip that I can give apartment owners or tenants during the night, if there's a flood and they don't know where it's coming from, but they locate, maybe it's a pipe, turn off the main to reduce some of the water damage, especially if you're upstairs. It's going to trickle down. But if there's any other need, like where there's a toilet overflow, sink overflow, tub overflow, call me, call us. We'll direct you through the process. We'll hold your hand. We've been doing this for 11 years. We're based out of the Inland Empire, and we have an office now in Orange County.
How do we get a hold of you?
They can call me at 951-252-5273. If you do call me at 2 in the morning, we are 24/7, so someone will answer. It will answer.
Thank you. Last and least is Phil. But before we go to Phil, quick, your website. So give me your website address.
chrisjosephrealty.com.
Greg Holly, SWMC .com.
And that's HOLLEY.
Dean at PacificWestCredit.com.
Okay, thank you. And Phil, I'm hearing terrible things about the 1031 exchange and capital gains. It's as if the entire administration is focused in on real estate investors. Tell us it's not as bad as I think it is.
No, I'm not going to tell you that because it is. But there's hope. First of all, the CAR, the California Association of Realtors, the National Association of Realtors, the American Escrow Association, the California Escrow Association, the California Land Title Association, and the American Land Title Association are all joining with us, the Federation of Exchange Accommodators, to blitz Congress. The administration can write whatever they want. Congress has to pass it. And the bottom line is that those congressional districts report to the people that vote for them. And if you are one of those people, and you are, the bottom line is they need to hear from you. To hear that this is not acceptable, this is going to cause what, and I'm going to go into that in just a second, a really big recession, for the slowdown of this economic train that pulls the U.S. economy called real estate. So many jobs happen from real estate. The real estate people get a deal. Their transaction coordinators get paid. The escrow companies get paid. The title insurance companies with all those employees get paid. The county assessor, the county tax collector gets paid transfer tax. All that goes away. Where does that money come from? How do people receive money? To pay taxes on that money? To go out and spend that money? Oh, by the way, the accommodators also are eliminated. So this is what the administration is proposing. You know, this is not political. This is just simply facts, you know, dollars and cents. They want to eliminate the 1031 tax-deferred exchange, which, by the way, this is our 100th year anniversary. We've been around doing this. I know I look like I'm 100 years old. At least Jim told me that. But the bottom line is that secure. The bottom line is that we have been doing this for 100 years, and guess who created this? Congress. It's for the purpose of stimulating the economy, because when people make money, they go out and spend and they pay taxes, and it trickles down. And that's just the way it works. That's one for the exchange. Number two, they're proposing that the bases step up. That means you pass away, your heirs get the property, but they don't get the property at the price that you bought it for. They get it at the price that it was stepped up to at the date of your loved one's passing. That goes away too. That means that if you have for example, a elderly parent who has got a reverse mortgage on their house,
Right.
and is utilizing that money to stay alive, and they pass, you not only inherit all the debt, you have to pay all the taxes. That's a huge problem. And this administration doesn't get it. And the bottom line is that will go away. Number three, they want to change the long-term capital gain, which is at 20%, to ordinary income, and raise the ordinary income tax to 39.6%. That's effectively a doubling of what happens when you sell property. This is going to stimulate the economy, all right, but in the wrong direction. And the problem is that these guys around us will also be affected, because they're not going to make any money, because there won't be any jobs. It's not going to all go away, but it'll be drastically reduced, which will change real estate. So your congressperson needs to hear from you. And the bottom line is, so does your senator. Regardless of their political affiliation, they need to hear from you, because they have to make the decision of whether they're going to pass this or not. So that's what's happening in the world of real estate. I think it's a winnable battle, but we all have to make a stone wall and hold it together. And that's how you do it.
Are they optimistic? Are these lobbyists optimistic? Or is it
Very, very,
Cautiously
very,
optimistic.
very cautiously optimistic. We think it's winnable. We just have to work really, really hard.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
That's right.
Thank you. Phil, how do we get a hold of you, Phil?
Well, it depends how Mrs. Lincoln was feeling. Okay, let's go. Area code, my direct line, which you can call 24/7, but that doesn't mean I'm going to answer. Yeah, no, I'm not. It's area code 213-479-8800. 213-479-8800.
Thank you, and I apologize for the verbosity of our speakers today. But if you have questions, below this, you'll have all the contact information of the people involved. We added another social media platform just this morning. There's Gab, there's MeWe, there's CloudHub. I mean, it's just endless. So we just cut and paste this to all these different ones. And last time I calculated, we had 1,568 views. A lot of bored people in society thinking this is entertainment. But thanks for watching the Joseph Apartments Talk Show. Thank you to our guests that are here, and we'll see you next month.